been watching my videos for a while. You watched back when I had nothing in my house really, and I was sleeping on a mattress pad, which is still here on top of the mattress. And it's kind of funny to be making my bed and I don't know, just maybe have a comfortable home and think back to the times before or right when I moved in here, how little I had in terms of like material possessions, but how much I had in terms of just determination to make it work. And I tell you, the road hasn't been easy, and it's still not easy. But I've made it work, and that feels pretty good. So let's go get us some coffee. How about that? Might as well turn on the fireplace before I get the coffee. It's still brewing anyway. Good morning, Scott. How are you? Daniel M. says that is a blessing. Be grateful for everything. Daniel M., I'm trying to figure out how to phrase that the right way. But I don't think it can be overstated, gratitude. And people often ask me on this show what the meaning of life is. And I don't know how to phrase it or exactly if it'll come out, but I think gratitude is our purpose in life. Being grateful for the little things and being grateful for, I don't know, the clouds in the sky or the candle here or this cool lamp I have or the miracle of technology that puts a fireplace on my TV every morning or the coffee I'm gonna have or the job I have. You know, because it's so easy to get mired in crap. I gotta go to work today. You know, I was at work last night and I gotta go to work in a couple hours, and believe me, I do. But life is just so much better if you can be grateful for the job you have, even if you don't love it, or the house you have, even if it's got a, I don't know, crack in the foundation or a leaky roof. But it's so easy to get mired in crappy thoughts. And I think when you picture like a devil on your shoulder whispering in your ear, that devil wants you to focus on the leaky roof or the job you don't like or the issues you have or the problems you have or the bad stuff. And when there's an angel on your shoulder whispering in your ear, I think it's reminding you to be grateful for all the stuff you do have. And yeah, life goes a heck of a lot better when you lead it with gratitude and being grateful about all the stuff and all the blessings that we do have. Oh, like my coffee and my candle. And my table that I have behind me that was given to me by a buddy, a very kind buddy, who had extra stuff and didn't need it. Let's see. So we're gonna kind of leave the lights down. Good morning, Barry. Let's see. We're not going to even wait for it to finish. We're just going to pour it out. That's how bad I want it. Put the coffee down over here. Get a nice fresh cup of water. Grab you fine folks and get a seat by the window. We can always go to the couch if we want, but I kind of like to start with you guys right here. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Dennis. How are you? Dennis Young. I think you were listening to or watching my video a little while ago. And I referred to you as I forget what we were talking about, but I was saying, I don't know if that makes sense to me, what you're saying, Dennis, but I can't help but think that you remind me of the Styx lead singer, Dennis DeYoung. So now we have our candle. You love my coffee mug. Where did I get it from? I bought a few hundred of these a few years ago and was giving them out to people to try and honestly spread my brand and what have you. And that was just because I was so enthusiastic and so excited to be doing my Coffee with Ken show. I thought everybody should be watching it, and that my content was so awesome that everybody I knew should have a mug. And good morning, 55. So I was giving them out to people, and I'd love to send them out, but the problem is to get them. Again, I talk about it a lot. To make them was costing maybe $6 or $7 a mug. But to send them costs like 15. And I tell you, I didn't like that. It's a bad deal. Good morning, Kalimad. How are you? How are you this morning? How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Well, thank you, Poppy. Jessica, not the only person that I don't know. The weather today, it looks damp out there. The pavement outside my window looks kind of damp. A little overcast and a little damp. Yeah. AJ said, here's the idea. I should make my own branded coffee. You think I can do it? And I think it would sell. Something to think about. Yeah, no, I've had that suggested a lot. You know, I don't know I don't think I want to sell coffee for a living. I don't think I want to have a coffee shop. Although I talk about my love of coffee, in the show every time. I'm not sure I want to be a wholesaler of coffee or I've had people reach out occasionally. I don't know that I want to sell anything. Does that make sense? I want to give it away. You know, I don't want to generate commission. I've been a realtor, I've been a stockbroker, I've made money. The thought of making money doing a job whose main purpose is to generate commissions or even revenue or even, income seems wrong to me. And that's one thing I enjoy about this show is I'm just doing it because I like to do it. And I'm hoping some of the words or experiences or stories I can share benefit somebody in some way, and I think they do. And as a byproduct of that, YouTube ends up paying me a few $100, which is great. And my hope isn't that I suddenly start making a ton of money. My hope is my little show gets put out to a bigger and bigger audience, and my words make a difference and bring people to faith or gratitude or sobriety or more awareness of their own mental health, or maybe don't feel so alone, and make it a positive impact. And I think as a byproduct, I'm hoping to, I don't know, we'll just see where it goes. But yeah, I don't know if I want to sell anything. So anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Saturday morning. It is November 15th. It is 7 a.m. Happy Saturday. Coffee with Ken's a show I've done for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life. Kind of sharing the adventure of one man. And again, I fall down and make mistakes and struggle, but I keep getting back up and keep moving forward and keep trying to get a little better every day. And I think, I don't know, might be a good reminder for all of us. If it's not, you can change the channel. But either way, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show. Now, I don't sell it, but it's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice, hot, steamy, where's my steam? Where's my steam? Saw the steam a minute ago. But either way, nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's the cinnamon dolce. I worked at Target about 3 years ago, and I bought a bag of cinnamon dolce coffee made by Starbucks, and enjoyed it so much it became one of my favorite flavors of coffee. One more sip. And then I was living with a guy. I was in his basement about 10 months ago. I was struggling, and he offered me a place to stay and I was there about a month. And he introduced me to adding cinnamon powder to my coffee, and I loved it. And I started doing it every time I went to Starbucks or any other coffee shop. I'd add cream and cinnamon powder on the road. And I got this bag a few days ago, and it was a cinnamon dolce, and I am telling you, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing coffee. Cinnamon does go so well with coffee. However, what I realized was a little bit, because I was having the cinnamon powder put in it every time I was out on the road or at Starbucks or what have you, it took a little bit of the specialness away from my cinnamon dolce. So what I've been doing over the last week or so is just having the coffee with cream on the road. And now the cinnamon dolce has all its specialness back. How much sleep do I generally get per night. Let's see. I would say last night I probably got 7 hours of sleep. But I sleep pretty well. I get less if I need to. But it feels good to sleep. I will tell you what, I've always been a guy with an active mind. And for a long time really thought I struggled with sleep. And I did. But again, if you were watching at the beginning, I talked about gratitude and how important it is. And now when I feel myself in a bad frame of mind, I'm pretty good at turning my headspace around and focusing on things I'm thankful for. Oh, wow. Hey, Luis, thank you so much. That's so kind. I don't know how to do something with that, but that was so kind. Somebody just sent me. I'm not trying to do anything negative to it. I appreciate that. Somebody just sent me $10. That was so nice. Oh. But anyway. I gave you the best advice a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what that advice was. Do you want to share the advice? But I don't remember what the advice was from a couple weeks ago that I gave you, but I'm glad that I shared with you the best advice. It's nice when I get lucky and the words I say are valuable. Okay, I said if you don't want to stop drinking, then just keep drinking. All right. If I was to come into a huge amount of money, what would I invest in? Well, if I came in a relatively small amount of money, okay. I know I would buy myself a scooter. I would buy a Honda Silverwing or a Suzuki Bergman scooter. And although it's November and riding season's over, when the snow melts in a few months and the temperature gets above 50 degrees, I love riding my scooter. I sold my scooter last February to move up to Wisconsin. And it was a great move and a move I needed to make at the time. But boy, I would love to, on my days off, to go on nice rides around the state of Wisconsin and explore towns and places and lakes and villages and coffee shops that I've not been to. And I think that'd be the first thing I'd invest in. If I came into a huge amount of money, what's the point of investing? You mean to make the money grow? I don't know. Why not a motorcycle? I don't know. I love scooters. I know how to shift gears on a car. I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. Okay, I'll give you some more. I have friends that own Harley Davidsons, and I use my scooter 10 times more than they did, at least, than their Harleys. I think motorcycles are loud. I don't particularly want something loud. I think oftentimes they're in more aggressive, leaning forward positions. They don't have the storage. I love just sitting back, turning the throttle and going. The ease of a scooter is amazing. And again, I rode mine across the country last year from Chicago to Yellowstone. Does time seem like it's going by faster? Is that just a byproduct of aging? Well, it's a byproduct of aging in that it's a year now. I'm 50, let's just say I'm 50 years old. I'm really 57. But for math's sake, let's say I'm 50. A year now is 2% of my existence. And when you're 5 years old, it's 20% of your existence. So it feels like it's speeding up because your total experiences are a lot greater. So each individual experience or year relatively feels like less time. Let's see. Let us see. Well, we got a nice audience right off the bat. I don't know who that was that sent $10, but I tell you what, I appreciate it. We got 44 people watching. We got, I think, 22 or 23 thumbs up. Again, I'd like this show to grow. I think my little stories or tales make a difference. And if you'd be so kind to give me a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think it'd encourage the powers that be at YouTube to put my show in front of a larger audience, and that'd be great. It's funny, a lot of you guys probably know I've been reading the Bible a couple chapters every night, and I'm probably about halfway through the book of Leviticus right now, and I've read the first two books, Genesis and Exodus, in the Bible. I will tell you what, speaking of comparing like pages, the story of Adam and Eve is like 2 paragraphs in the Bible. And the definition of what is clean and unclean in terms of everything is pages in the Old Testament. And I don't know why people don't maybe be more honest about the Old Testament. Because I don't think the Old Testament is God's word at all. I think it's rules set by a judgmental, nearly evil society ruled by men to dominate others. To tell people how to live their lives and how to be and what they can and can't do and shouldn't do and how you should feel guilty and bad for everything. I read it 2 chapters last night, but yeah, it sounds like it was written by a angry, controlling group of old men. Old and New Testament are the same. Well, I don't know. Chances that's encouraging to hear. Too much eye for an eye type stuff. I'll tell you what, Chance, it's not even eye for an eye yet. It's just pages of how to atone for your sin and bring a bull in and have the priest put your hand on his head and slaughter the bull as a sin offering and slaughter the ram as a burnt offering for an aroma pleasing to the Lord, and who can eat what and what women should do and how women are unclean. And I mean, pages about the uncleanliness of discharges from your body. I mean, really, it's almost hard not to laugh at when you're reading. And I mean that. I'm glad I'm reading it so I have a fair perspective, because I thought it was all Moses coming down from the mountain with tablets in his hands, or Noah's Ark, or Adam and Eve, but it's pages of stuff that I think's laughable. Yeah. We had a glorious audience. We got 67 people. Well, Connie, you say it's perfect and it works out and that Jesus is the only hope. So maybe I'm doing exactly as I'm supposed to and getting turned off by society as a whole and the message of God, reading the Old Testament. So maybe it's working out just as it's supposed to. I'm going to keep reading, but I want to be educated on it, and I don't want to just believe that. Again, I, as a kid, thought the Bible was about Adam and Eve and what have you. But that was just a blurb, and it's pages of strict rules about stuff that I don't believe is coming from God's mouth at all. Bass says, many of those rules were way less strict than the secular time. I don't know totally what that means. Yeah. But I'm going to get a little more coffee. And again, we have a glorious audience this morning. Good morning, Bob Ballard. How are you? I get to go to work today. Feels like I just got home from work, and that's pretty much true. I get to go back in. Feel somewhat productive. Starting a new job on Monday that I'm really excited about. It'll be my third job. I think the two jobs I have don't matter as much as the job I'm starting on Monday, and I'm looking forward to doing it. All right, Bob. Old and New Testament are both mechanisms to govern huge groups of people. All right. Thank you, 55. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. And again, I probably make more at my first two jobs, and that's why I'm going to keep them around. But the third job that I'm starting, I think, is going to make a difference, and I'm excited about that. Oh. Tammy, I'll be making a difference, and I'll be changing lives. That's my hope. Honestly, I thought I was making a difference and changing lives when I was working as a waiter at Texas Roadhouse, because I felt so in tune with it, and I was allowed to be me so much that I could let my hair down, if you will, and just be fun and outgoing and make people's dining experience better. And that felt real good. Oh, we have a little spiritual or religious or faith debate going on my show. That's all right. That is all right. So it's Saturday morning. Got my cinnamon dolce coffee. Got my candle, got my fireplace, got my lamp going. Nibbling my way through the Old Testament. Have a meeting tomorrow morning with an individual. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but it's an important step for me and my family. Important enough that I asked off of work. And I was scheduled to work tomorrow, but instead I have a meeting tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to be able to go into work or go into church. I almost could make it to the 8:30 service, but I don't think I can. Well, we got a huge discussion on spirituality. Why did God make me bald? I don't know. I don't think we often know why God does things. But I'm happy he did. I like being bald. And yeah, I don't miss hair. And I don't know if I'd take hair back if God came in and said, hey, Ken, do you want your hair back? You're welcome, Rebecca. I'm getting stuff from it. And again, I'm not praising the words in the Bible as much as maybe I expected to be, but I feel I have an educated opinion and a right to speak on the subject because I'm actually putting in the time to read the words and Yeah. I don't think anybody can tell me that those long chapter 13, 14 about how women are unclean after, I almost think most of that stuff was their best attempt at a medical practice and thought that maybe the menstrual cycle of a woman was dangerous to people or poisonous in some ways, and that they were trying to keep people safe from perceived threats to their health. But I mean, it just seems silly reading it today, talking about how unclean women are during their menstrual cycle and that they got to go sit in a tent for 7 days. Or that after giving birth, they got to do something and atone by slaughtering a ram and having a priest throw blood on an altar and rub blood on his right earlobe. I mean, it's really, I think, to be honest, it feels like worshiping a false idol. Like it's that different than the message I get at church. Looks like people want me to bring, Connie says she has a minor in religious studies. You could study your entire life and not get it. Yeah. But again, Connie, I think just reading it gives me a better perspective on the concept of everything we're talking about and what I see in church. So I think I'm getting some value going, wow, this seems so what have you. There was some cries for my gong. I didn't see what was going down. I did not see what was going on. But got a couple longtime users saying, Everything that was ordained in the I lost you. Hello, his and her landscaping. How are you? Did you ever decide what to do, his and her landscaping? We were talking a couple months ago, and you were worried about the climate economically, and if people were going to continue to spend money on rehabbing houses or doing nice landscaping. And you were considering like a career switch, I think. I'm wondering if you ever did anything with that. Have I ever had a close friend who turned out to be fake? It just kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I mean, you even saying fake seems kind of funny. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to laugh at your situation, but it seems a little bit like a question, a junior high school girl might ask. Or say that my friend is so fake. It is a short tune, but I can't keep my eyes open much longer. Hey Tammy, enjoy your night's sleep. Rest your eyes, get a good night's sleep, and be ready to go at it again tomorrow. Hello, Audrey Durham. How are you? Monster found God after he got sad deep and God helped him. Well, congratulations. Even the greats have been betrayed by close ones, including Jesus, said Muhammad. Good morning, Ron. How are you today? How are you today? Oh yeah, Mobsidian. It is the Gong of Fear. Many people will hop on my show and they have no fear because they are not aware of the power of the gong and what it is here for. Have I always had some sort of schedule routine in your life? I always struggle with it. No. I mean, I think I strive for something. I'm always striving for something. As a realtor, I was a realtor 17 years, and that makes having a schedule or routine a little difficult because you don't have to go into work at 9 o'clock and punch the clock and then leave at 5 or whatever. You can kind of do what you want, when you want, and where you want around your schedule that you have with clients. But I don't know. You said you always struggle with it. Start small. If you really want, do you want to have a routine? Start small. Make your bed in the morning. Make that part of your routine. Before you get out of bed, say, thank you, God, for the coffee I have, or the sunrise, or the warm bed, or something. Just start small. And I think anytime people are struggling with something, they're trying to go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. And I think generally if we start small and stick at it and build on that, a routine kind of grows more easily. I work out, I don't know, a few times a week and it feels good. I was talking to a athletic trainer in there the other day and sharing with her some of my thoughts on working out. And I have no training, but I understand how people tend to dive in too much, too soon, too heavily, too quickly, and get burnt out. And if you were struggling with a routine and you suddenly try and organize every moment of your life, you're probably not going to stick with that. But if you start small and go, okay, my morning routine begins with me thanking God, and you don't even have to thank God. I'm not here trying to promote Christianity or religion or anything, but be grateful for something as you lay in bed. Swing your feet out and make your bed, and you're off and started, and that can be your routine. What do I think of Andrew Tate? I haven't even heard of Andrew Tate for a while. I don't know, was he popular on like TikTok for a while? I mean, I was seeing his videos a lot for a while, a couple of years ago. But I haven't heard anything. I don't have any big thoughts about him. I mean, he'd say things that were bold. And I think if you say things that are bold, that's not a bad idea. What are my thoughts on 50-year mortgages? I think it's trying to solve a problem that I think we shouldn't try and solve, that can solve itself. Trump threw out the idea of extending mortgages to 50 years instead of the traditional 30-year mortgage, trying to bring down the monthly mortgage you'd be paying, your cost of owning a home. But again, I don't think that's the solution to the housing situation and the lack of affordability in housing. I think if we got out of the way and let the markets take care of themselves, I think there'd be a correction in the housing market. We always try and that's my problem with big government. We tinker, we try and create soft landings where capitalism doesn't have soft landings. They have crashes. They have huge bubbles where people have massive net worths, where Elon Musk is worth $500 billion, but then somebody invents a better mousetrap and Tesla's not the hottest thing and suddenly Elon Musk's 90% of his wealth goes away. But we try to tinker with everything and create things to make housing more affordable, like a 50-year mortgage. But I think the way to make housing more affordable, I think if housing isn't affordable, that should correct itself. People should stop being able to afford it, and people should move, at the end, multi-family homes and stuff like that should be the solution till housing prices come down and become affordable again. Yeah, there's only a 300-month difference in price. I saw that too. Jace says she found herself to be agnostic theist. She wants to believe but needs evidence. I think the whole key is in faith is not needing evidence. And I'm not saying that that's easy to do. Faith is powerful because there is no evidence. If you have to, because life's going to mow you down at times and beat you down. And you're going to lose people you love. Relationships are going to crumble. You're going to struggle financially. Your car's going to get a flat tire. And having faith that either it was meant to be or that it's going to be okay, despite the evidence, because all the evidence says, wow, this sucks. My car's got a flat tire. My boss is a jerk. I broke up with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. If you need evidence, I think that's kind of ties into the meaning of life. Believing things are okay. Walking in joy despite your circumstances. Ball Striker Bandito says they will never be affordable again. I think they can be. Connie said there is no longer generational wealth in the U.S. This is the point in doing these changes. I don't know if I know what you're talking about on this, Connie. You got a house and you will be paying for it for 21 years starting this year. More than likely, though, you'll sell that house before 21 years, so you won't be paying it for 21 years. You know, most people don't stay in their house for 21 years. Good morning, Rach420. How are you today? You guys can't let me talk too long today. Don't try and trick me into being here for you. I don't want to get in trouble with work. I won't. I'm amazingly punctual. Part of my neuroticness and my worry and fear causes me to be extremely on time. Good morning, Mako. It is a beautiful morning. It's funny, at this job, I was working here about 2 weeks. And I was scheduled on a Sunday, but I had absolutely no idea I was supposed to work. I didn't forget. I wouldn't forget. I had no idea I was supposed to work. And one of my bosses called or texted, said, "Hey, are you coming in?" And I was sitting in church, or I was just, the service was done. I was just kind of sitting there enjoying the atmosphere going, what? Am I supposed to be in? I felt so bad. Because I'll tell people, you know, I'm hardworking, positive, and extremely punctual. And I am. I take pride in it. And I was, I had no excuse except I had no idea. I was totally wrong on the schedule and I read it wrong. Felt really bad, but it worked out okay. Using my common sense, you feel like it's a dead end for housing. You mean the 50-year mortgage? Again, I think, if anything, the 50-year mortgage will create more buyers and will push the pricing of houses up. I think what we need is I think we're going to need a correction in things. In stock prices, in housing prices. Rarely are there corrections in housing prices. Usually the housing market goes up slow and steady historically, but again, I got started in real estate in 2005. 3 years later, the housing bubble burst and houses dropped 30% in value. I don't know what's going on. I mean, part of the reason I moved to Wisconsin was because I couldn't afford to rent an apartment. And granted, I was just waiting tables, but I was working hard, and I do have 2 ex-wives and a lot of financial responsibilities, so that's all on me. But I just couldn't afford to live where I lived. And this apartment that's beautiful that I'm sitting in now would be 2.5 times the price in the suburbs of Chicago that it is in Appleton, Wisconsin. Why don't I try to go live in another country? Well, I have no desire to do that. Yeah, I don't want to live in another country. Deadpan says Naperville is more expensive than most. Yeah, but I mean, that whole area was pretty expensive. I didn't want to live in Aurora, and even Aurora would be much more expensive than where I'm living today. Oh. Somebody commented on the size of my gong. I've always been told size doesn't matter. Rach 420 says USA is better than Canada right now. I don't know where you live, Rachel, or what you're talking about. Am I familiar with Christopher Cross? Sure. Why are we talking about Christopher Cross? I think he does, let me see it. Na 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 da da da. When you get lost between the moon and New York City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. I think that's Christopher Cross. You did move to my husband's country, and it's better. Monster, where did you move from and from to? Have I ever heard of the band Tool? Yes. Yes, I have. I may have owned a Tool album. I can't sing any Tool songs like I can sing Christopher Cross. You're on your hospital switchboard, says Tanya Craig. Somehow, Tanya, take over and put my show through the speakers of the whole hospital. Good morning, hospital. All you patients, you nurses, you doctors, you surgeons, you maintenance guys, good morning. My name is Ken Tracy. And this is Coffee with Ken. Let's see. Can your voice would be soothing? Yeah, it could be. I've heard that. I tell you what, if people say you have a nice voice, it really opens up your video potential, because I can really do. My most recent video, somebody asked me what my favorite dinosaur was, and I thought back to when I was a kid, and I drew a Allosaurus for a school project we had. So I thought the Allosaurus was my favorite dinosaur. This was during the middle of the night. I was editing this video, and I did a little research on an Allosaurus. Good morning, Craig. How are you? Rachel says T-Rex. That's too easy and predictable. I kind of am a fan of the underdog, and the Allosaurus is like a slightly smaller version of the T-Rex. Somebody said, or radio show. You mean I should do a radio show? I applied as a DJ. They never got back. I mean, they did. I sent in a resume and a cover letter. She responded with a personality test. And they never got back to me. The questions were hard on the personality test. It was like, what would you describe yourself most like and least like? And I'm not sure I like the way I describe myself. Thank you, Better Cakes. You have just won $1,000. Well, it is their loss. I thought I would have been excited about it. The pay was amazingly small, though. But it would have been a full-time gig. I don't think it would have been enough to chew on. Again, I've listened to the radio a fair amount, to this radio station, and every 5 or 10 minutes a DJ comes on and says, this is, I don't know what they say, but they say like 2 lines about who the country singer was or about a concert coming up or something, and then they're gone. Yeah. I failed the personality test. It hurts. I mean, I'm not sure that's why I failed or why they didn't get back to me. I was so excited though. Leo has subscribed. Well, I appreciate that. Connie said EQ tests seem to be common now. But I hear that, so I don't even know what EQ means. I mean, I know it's emotional quotient, I think. I'm often told I probably have a high EQ. So how could I have failed the test? Plus, what kind of personality do they want in a DJ? No, I'm pretty sure that Connie meant EQ. And again, I'm not sure totally what EQ means. Again, I think it stands for emotional quotient, and it's how good you connect with people. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to have a little more coffee. We've talked for 56 minutes. We have a truly glorious audience. Maybe they want you to be equalized. It was for music station. They require an air check. Millie, you keep saying, you said that before. They didn't require an air check. They didn't ask for an air check. It seems they would have asked for an air check if they required an air check, Millie. Ah. Sailing. What was the song? I can't even hum the music for the other Christopher Cross song I'm thinking about. Oh. Am I coming to the store on Monday? I don't know what you mean. So probably not. Come Sail Away. No. Come Sail Away is Styx. You know, I can't. Come on. Come on, you guys know. You guys know. Can't think of it. Is it Sailing? Sailing, take me away to wherever. Do boo-da-da, 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 boo-da-da. You know, it's one of those things I could probably sing along in the car, but without any of the music or Christopher Cross doing the backup. What's surprising is the way that dude looks. He's kind of an overweight dude. Not that you can't be overweight, but you just, I don't know. Just didn't picture him looking like he does. Hello, getting to know you. How are you? Do you guys know that song Come Sail Away by Styx? I've heard it a million times. I was probably 10 years old when it came out. I think it came out in like 78 or 77. Are they aliens or angels that come at the end on Come Sail Away? Does anyone know? Does it turn out? I thought that they would just come to my surprise. I'll climb aboard the starship heading for the skies. They must be aliens at the end. They must be aliens, right? I mean, I always thought it was kind of about angels, but do they end up with being, do they end up being aliens at the end? I think so. I thought that they were angels, come to my surprise, climb aboard the starship, heading for the skies. I think so. Craig would not want to sail through the river Styx. Well, you don't sail through the river Styx. You give the boat dude a coin and he pushes you across the river Styx. That's what you do. You don't sail. There's no breeze on the river Styx. Boo, boo, doo, doo, doo. Scott, do you think I don't know that we can get 100 likes today. I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know that I have it in me to get us to 100 likes today. It takes some participation from you guys, but it takes a whole lot of determination and energy from me, and I may not have it today. I may not have it today. Good morning, Cathos Prime. How are you today? Good morning, Wavy. The magic number on YouTube likes is 250, and things typically change faster. What do you mean? Connie, who are you? You watch my show all the time, and you're like this wealth of knowledge, and you watch my show all the time. So who are you? Is your name really Connie McCabe? Where did I find the gong? It was sent to me. Somebody purchased it on Amazon. You are graced with a gong. Great morning, Noah. What's for breakfast? Noah, I don't know that I'm going to eat breakfast this morning. I'm going to get hungry today. I get to work at 10:30 this morning, and I don't know if I will be hungry by 10:30. I need to spend a few hours being hungry today, and then I'm going to eat whatever I want later. You're retired at 47 with way too much time on your hands. Well, that would explain it a little bit, Connie McCabe. Do you ever think about doing something at 47? You're too young to be retired. I mean, you do you, of course, but maybe you have enough passion and enthusiasm and energy to go start a new business and do something new. Oh, that's nice. Maritime bell. I don't know what you mean. Maritime. Is that like peacetime? Rachel 420, you say same. What do you mean? You work 2 times 12-hour weekend shifts on my hospital switchboard, and with a bit of, I'm too risk averse, unfortunately. Well, you don't have to take a huge risk, Connie. Again, you don't have to do anything that I say, of course, but I'm just wondering if you're 47 and you got way too much time, you don't have to take any great risk. I don't know. What do you like to do? Do you like to make cute little things, ornaments? Sell them on Etsy or something. Rick said, I look like a good, solid American. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, about the eating. Yeah, Rachel. I work out a lot, and if I just care a little more, if I cared a little more, I'd lose like 10 pounds around my belly, and I'd really be in great shape. Connie had 2 boys, very young, and you're figuring out empty nest. Well, yeah, I imagine that would be tough. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, Nathan Walduck. It's like Julie and Nathan were hanging out together and they both got on at the same time. We've had a glorious audience. We truly have. Scott was trying to get us to 100 likes. I don't think I have it in me to get us to 100 likes today. I mean, okay, it's 8 o'clock, just about. I don't know that I want to talk. It would take another hour of talk to get to 100 likes. Connie says the magic number is 250 likes. I've never gotten close to 250. I think maybe I got 120 likes before. But to get to 250, either my content would have to be much better, or I would have to talk for like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, and I just don't have 3 or 4 hours. I probably could talk for 3 or 4 more hours, but then I know in 6, 7 weeks I'd have to edit that video and I'd be going, oh my God, I can't stand my own voice. I can't stand it. So anyway, it's Saturday morning. I've got my mallet. Run 2 simultaneous channels and feed likes to 1. I don't know what that means, Craig. That sounds complicated. Do I have a busy day today? I mean, I gotta go to work. I get to go to work. See how I did that? See how I did that? How much more positive that sounds? And Hold on, did it work? Yeah. Talk for 3 hours because you have a lot of homework to do and you're gonna walk at Bussy Woods. Well, I can't talk for 3 hours. I can't talk for 3 hours. I mean, I think it sounds lovely that you're gonna go for your walk. I wonder, when you do your homework, do you do it at home or do you go to Starbucks? Oh, housework. Well, you can't do that at Starbucks. Yeah, I gotta work. It's not all this luxurious lifestyle that you guys think my life is. It's not a lot of slaving over a hot stove, scrubbing floors, carrying heavy boxes, pushing huge loads, running heavy machinery. Lots of stuff I do. Lots of stuff. It is not glorious like you guys think it is. Oh no. Oh. Well, I got a couple more cups of coffee. I guess I don't need it yet. What do I do for a living, Tanya? I'm not even counting my glorious content creation business. I have 3 jobs. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. But it's 8 o'clock. I'm kind of excited about my day. Got a lot better attitude than I did as I was laying in bed. I'm almost looking forward to going into work today. But I think I'm probably not really excited about going into work. I'm really excited about maybe taking a hot bath with bubbles before I go to work. And to do that, I would have to sign off on you fine folk a little sooner than later. And right now might be a good time to do that. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But it has been a glorious audience on this Saturday morning. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today and following along in my little journey that is Coffee with Ken. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.